everybody, I'm Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster, and it's time for another deck special!
Hello everybody, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster 41, aka Jason Lee. I know it's been a while since I've done a few uploads, and that's just because I'm getting ready to move, hopefully soon. And once I move, I'll be closer to locals and everything, so I'll actually be able to get more testing done. I haven't had a chance to do a lot of testing, but I did enter into another one of Sir Eminon's tournaments. And I got a few duels that I'll put up after this that kind of show what this deck can do. This deck will be a post Burst of Destiny deck. Luckily, my birthday is October 30th, and that's the same day as premiere event for Burst of Destiny. And I got money put aside to get all the cards I don't already have. So, here's the deck. Let me go through it real quick, and then we'll go into the duels. Okay, we're going to start off with Triple King of the Sky Prison. For those that don't know what this does, this card is a level 10 Dark Rock, which means it can be searched out by Gallant Granite, which you run one of. And during your main phase, you can reveal this card in your hand, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, if you do, while this card is revealed by this effect, set cards on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. Now, do keep this in mind. This is your set cards can't be destroyed by card effects and your opponent's. It affects both sides of the field, and you do not have to have any set cards in the field to activate this effect. It's a lingering effect once activated. The cool fact about this is it makes Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, Twin Twister, fucking MST, and any other mass spell or trap destruction not as good. And that is one thing I really do love about it. And definitely one of the mainstays of running this. And if that's all I said, it would be great, but it also has an additional effect. While it's revealed, if you activate a set spell or trap, you can special summon this card. And if you do, you can set one spell or trap from your deck to the field, but it gets banished during the end of the next turn. Now keep in mind, if your opponent activates a set spell or trap, or you activate it, and this card is revealed by its first effect, you can special summon it and then set any spell or trap you want from your deck. But it will get banished at the end of your turn. Now, the reason why I say it has to be at the end of your turn is because you can only use one of these effects per turn. So the reveal effect on your turn, the special summon on your opponent's the way to go. Unless you just want a big beefy body, then you can set a spell or trap and activate it and summon it on your turn. But mostly this card is going to counter a lot of destruction effects, while at the same time getting you basically any key spell or trap you need from your deck. This is why, in my opinion, you're going to run 3 of it, as well as a Granite. If you can afford it, we don't know the rarity of Burst Sky Prison, King of the Sky Prison, yet. It'll be Ultra or Secret. Most likely Secret, let's be honest. As of today, October 21st, 2021, its rarity has not been revealed yet, or if it has a name change, that has also not been revealed. Then, of course, we'll go on to the next card, Standard Staple of 3 Parallel Exceeds. We all know what this card does. If you link summon, you can special summon this to a zone that monster points to. And if it's summoned by its own effect, you can special summon another from your deck to anywhere you want on the field, and then their attack, defense, and level both become halved, so they become level 4s, 1,000, instead of level 8, 2,000. And you can use each effect once per turn. It's a 1-card Exceeds, or Link 2. Because we're running the Destiny Hero package, we got one Destiny Hero Dasher. Its on-field effect does not matter. The only effect that may, on a rare occasion, come up is that you can, during your draw phase, if you draw a monster while he's in the grave, you can reveal it and then special summon it. And you can only use that effect one time while he's in the grave. Won't come up all that often, but on occasions. You then got 3-dimensional shifters. You know you're going to discard this card while having no cards in your grave, and until the end of the next turn, all cards sent to the grave are banished instead. So it's basically Macrocosmos for 2 turns, which is really powerful. 2 Dianeas, when special, can get a trap hole back from your grave, but it's banished during the end of the next turn. And when normal, can special summon a Traptrix in defense mode, but does not negate their effects. So if they have a special summon effects like Dianea or Mermello, they will trigger. You have, for the other aspect of the Fusion Destiny engine, Destiny Hero Celestial. On-field effect does not matter, though it being a level 4 can come up on occasions. If you hard draw it or some way, you could normal summon it and go into a rank 4 with it, though I highly suggest not. You'd rather fusion it into the grave. If you end up summoning it or it gets sent to the grave, your Fusion Destinies are dead. And therefore, so is the fusion. Its grave effect is, except for the turn it's sent to the grave, you can banish it and a D hero to draw 2 cards, but you must have no cards in your hand to activate this effect. So basically, you set all your back row, banish 2, draw 2. It's pot of fucking greed. Then of course you got Mermello. We all know what she does. Normal gets you a trap hole, and when special, mandatorily attempts to pop an opponent's back row. Mantis, when normal summoned, gets you a Traptrix monster, and has a quick effect where you can target a set spell or trap, bounce it back to hand, and then set a spell or trap from your hand. This is actually good in multiple ways. It'll help you bypass Dianea's effect of the trap hole being banished, as well as Sky Prisons. So, for example, if you were to, say, set a continuous spell or trap, you can use Mantis to bounce it back to hand and reset it, at which point it will no longer be banished during the end of the next turn. Then you can activate it free and willing and, do what it does. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, we only run 3. I mean, we'd probably run 6 if we could afford Pot of Prosperity, but we can't, so 3. 3 Fusion Destinies. Fusion Destiny just lets you fusion summon a D-Hero fusion monster by sending materials from your hand, deck, or field to the grave, and then you summon the monster. Also, for the rest of the turn, after the spec resolves, you can't special summon anything but Dark Hero monsters, and that monster is destroyed during the end phase of the next turn. Trust me, that aspect does not fucking matter at all, because you will do this as the last thing you need, and your monster getting destroyed don't matter. For traps, you got the standard infinite impermanence. You get to negate stuff from your hand. You know what it does. Target an effect monster, negate its effects. You can do this from your hand if you have no cards on your field. And if it's set when activated, you negate any spell or trap activated in that column for the turn. 1 Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. Attempting this one out, toss up between this and a 3rd Gravedigger. But so far, I've kind of liked this. It says when a monster that was special summoned this turn activates its effects on the field, you can negate those effects, and if you do, destroy it. I do like Void because it has a way of getting past something like Dragoons, but this card is just more live, I feel. It's honestly, this is just a choice. Whatever choice you want to go with, you can go with. So this is experimental for now. 2 Gravedigger Trap Holes. If your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand, grave, or banish zone, you negate and inflict 2,000 burn. And this can help you win games, hands down. Triple Torrential Tribute. Monster summon. Nuke the board of all monsters. 3 Shades of Brigandine, you know what this does. You have no traps in your grave. You activate it the turn it's set. When it's activated, it special summons itself as a Dark Warrior, level 4, 0 attack, 300 defense, and it's no longer treated as a trap. You can only use 1 shade per turn, but this is going to trigger your Sarah. 1 Imperial Order, negate all spell effects, but of course you take 700 each standby phase. Not optional, and if you can't, it's destroyed. If you have a way to get to Mantis, and you can set this by Sky Prison. Remember, Mantis can bounce it back and then reset it, and then when you activate it, it stays up until it either you run out of life points to pay or it gets destroyed by another way, which is really cool. Though, do keep in mind, Sky Prison can only protect face down, set spell or traps. So once it's face up, if your opponent has some way of destroying it, they can. 3 Solemn Strike, basically pay 1,500, negate a special summon or any monster effect, and destroy it. And 2 Solemn Judgments. I cut 1 judgment out so I could put a 3rd Sky Prison, though depends on what I pull and what I can afford. It may be 2 Sky Prison, 3 Judgments, or 3 Sky Prisons, 2 Judgments. It's going to be some kind of ratio like that. But Judgment basically says when your opponent summons or activates a spell or trap, pay half your life points, negate it, and destroy it. Simple, straightforward, right? The side is, it is what it is. 3 Contact Cs. It's 3 Contact Cs. So basically your opponent summons a monster, you put this on their field, and now if they want to link, synchro, exceed, or fusion, they have to use it as material. This card works really well against Tri-Brigade and some rogue decks. 3 Token Collectors, because this tournament I'm in is post-bowed, and I'm trying to be prepared for Sword Soul, though I've yet to face any. This card lets you, if a token is summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, destroy all tokens while it's face up in the field. Tokens cannot be summoned. So, basically, can work good with that or any type of Auroradon combo. It can completely screw up. 3 Droll, your opponent adds a card from deck to hand, you activate this, they can no longer neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand for the rest of the turn. 3 Evenly, at the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can make your opponent banish all cards they control so that they control the same number as you, and if you have no cards in your hand, you can activate this from your, or if you have no cards on the field, you can activate this card in your hand. So basically put, when you activate this, this will be the only card you have face up on your field, so your opponent will banish all cards but 1. Face down, might I add. And then 3 Heavy Storm Dusters. It's basically Twin Twister, target up to 2 spell and traps, pop them, but then you can't conduct your battle phase this turn. Now the only downfall of this is if I'm using Sky Prison to protect my cards, this makes this card kind of dead. So open to ideas on things I can change it to. I'm still uncertain what. But, you got to run some spell or trap destruction. And also keep in mind, Sky Prison will hinder Murmillo's pop. Though it's mandatory, so you'll still attempt to do it. It just will resolve without destroying anything if they have set spell or traps and they're under Sky Prison. Best bet would be to summon out Sky Prison first, then summon out Murmillo by working the chains. And then, since Sky Prison, once he's summoned, he's no longer being revealed in the hand, back row is no longer protected, Murmillo will pop. Now for the extra deck, we got 2 Traptrix Sarah, the MVP of the deck, the best card in the extra, hands down, at least link-wise. Yeah, it just takes 1 Traptrix to make. She's unaffected by traps if she's link summoned. If a normal trap is activated, you can special summon a Traptrix from your deck with a different name than ones you control. So if you already have a Murmillo on the field, you can't summon another Murmillo. If you control, or if another Traptrix you control activates a monster effect, you can set 1 whole trap directly from your deck. So it basically gets you a Traptrix monster and a trap hole in most cases, +2. You got, of course, Link Spider to, in case you open up Shades and Parallel Exceed, you can go Shade, summon, Link off because he's treated as a normal monster, to Link Spider who has a downward arrow, then summon out Parallel Exceed and go into a rank 4. You have Predaplant Verte Anaconda, which we'll see if I can afford this. This thing went up in price. I do not have this card yet. I have every card except for Sky Prisons, the Fusion that I'm coming up on, and Predaplant, so we'll see. And also, who knows, January's ban list may just kill this son of a bitch, but if you can get it, get it. If not, I'll probably replace it with either a Link 2 or another Exceed. One Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, 3 monsters. You're going to want to make this with Sky Prison as one of the materials, or a negated Parallel Exceed, so it's level 8. Very rarely would I say make it with the Fusion now. And basically, if you make it with a level 7 or higher monster, he cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And then he has the effect that if he destroys a monster by battle, you can activate one of these effects. It'll gain 1500, banish 1 card on the field non-target wise, or can attack for a second time during the next battle phase. That one you don't do as much. Of course, you got the Zeus package, where you run 1 Shakanine, which is generic to go into, overlay on top of it Zodiac Borbo, which can attack directly. It'll be for 0 damage, but it still will have battles. And then you overlay on top of it Zeus, which you can detach 2 materials to send all cards on the field to the grave. And you can do this once, well, actually as many times per chain as you have 2 materials to detach, really. And this will make a 4 material Zeus. 1 Traptrix Mathplasia, where if it has materials, it's unaffected by traps. You can detach a material, send a normal trap hole from your deck, and as long as the timing and situation is correct, her effect will become that card's effect. Also, all Traptrix monsters you control, except for herself, cannot be targeted or destroyed by cards. Can be targeted by cards or destroyed by cards or battle. But she can be. It's just all other ones can't be. You run 1 number 60 Durgarus the Timeless. You can detach 2 materials to activate one of these effects. Either draw 2 cards, discard 1, but if you do, you skip your next draw phase. Special summon 1 monster from your grave in defense position, but skip your next main phase 1. Or double the attack of 1 monster you currently control, and if you do, skip the battle phase of your next turn. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. You're normally going to use the either draw effect or double the attack of something effect so that you can go for game. He's kind of like the replacement for Utopia Double, because you don't really want to run the bricks from that in here. But he's kind of like the replacement for that, because you turn a Sky Prison to a 6,000 attacker, or Phoenix Enforcer here into a 5,000 attacker with this, and like one of the monster, you got game. Of course, Abyss Driller, detach a material. Neither player can activate monster effects in the grave. Well, opponent can't activate monster effects in their grave. Baguska, you summon it in defense position. And neither player can activate the effects of defense position monsters, and all monsters that are summoned are changed to defense position. Gallic Granite, you detach to add a rock from your deck to your hand, you're going to add Sky Prison. You will never use the other effect. It's just detach, add Sky Prison. That's it. Time Thief Redoer, you're going to make normally when you do it with Phantom Knight Shades of Brigadine. And during the standby phase, you can attach the top card of your opponent's deck to this card as material. Pardon the plane. And then as a quick effect, you can detach up to 3 different types of cards, or 3 different types of materials from this card, and apply the following effects. If you detach a monster, you'll banish this card to the end phase, spell, draw a card, and trap, which is why you do it with Shades. Place 1 face-up card on your opponent controls on the top of their deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. And then, finally, the last card. is going to be Destiny Hero Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, which you make with Fusion Destiny. All monsters your opponent controls lose 200 attack for each hero monster in the grave, so it'll be 400 less. Which, hey, anything like 29 or less, this card can get over. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, either player's card effect, you can activate this effect, and then during the next standby phase, it'll special summon itself back. And then once per turn as a quick effect, you can target one card you control, one card your opponent controls, destroy both. And technically, I misspoke. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate this effect during the next standby phase. Yeah, special summon any D hero, not just itself. Any D hero from your grave, but you're in most cases going to special summon itself back so that you can keep it going. And that's the deck I've been playing with. I'll probably do a real life deck special once I get all the cards. And let me know what you think down below. I'll try to get up the duel videos here as soon as I can. And as always, take care of the ones you love. Peace out. Rock on.